Hi, everyone. I wanted to do a quick video on speech number one. You are beginning to think about the topics that you want to present to your audience, your classmates, and to me. And I have received emails from a couple of you just running your topic ideas by me. I welcome and encourage those emails because I would like to put my stamp of approval on them. I'm going to share my screen and pull up the speech number one, just so that we can go through it together and you have an idea of what I'm looking for. So as mentioned in the very first announcement, you will present 3 speeches in this class. The first and third speech do not require an audience, but you do need to upload a video of you presenting to the camera, thus your virtual audience. And speech number 2 will be your audience, your speech that requires an audience. So you're either presenting in front of people and you're showing that you're presenting live to them, or you're working with me to sign up for a Zoom time to present to other classmates and myself. And I'll have more details on that as we get closer to speech 2. But speech number 1. So this is a very open-ended selection of topics that you can choose from for speech 1. And it is informative. So when we talk about presenting an informative speech, we are talking about teaching our audience something. We're not trying to persuade them. We're not trying to commemorate or memorialize something. Consider yourself the teacher. Think about topics that are of interest to you, that you think your classmates, college students in a speech class in La Crosse, Wisconsin, would be interested in hearing about. So you want to pick a topic that is not too simplistic, nothing like how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, how to tie your shoes, how to button a coat. You're all adults, you're all in college, so you want it to be information that is relevant and useful in our lives where we are now. So think about topics that maybe you already consider yourself a bit of an expert in, or at least maybe you know more than other people that you've talked to about this particular topic. This could be hobbies that you're gleaning from. It could be just things that you've read and watched a lot of information on. I enjoy World War II literature and movies, and I've been to a couple different concentration camps. I am not an expert in this area, but if I wanted to start teaching somebody about some aspect of that huge part of history, I could maybe start brainstorming ideas there. So think about object, person, event, or concept. That is basically the world. So your job is to narrow it down and to think about what you can deliver successfully in 3 to 5 minutes. That's a big ask. So the more narrow that you can be, the easier it will be to write and the easier it will be to fit yourself within that time frame. So your audience is virtual. Again, you are recording live like I'm doing here. You're looking at your web camera and you are presenting your information. I want to stress that I don't want you to read your entire speech to us. I would encourage you not to have the speech in front of you on your screen, because your tendency will be to look at the screen to read and to not look at your video camera. So keep a short list of notes maybe on your screen or some note cards in front of you, but you're going to have practiced enough that you are focusing on that camera, which is your audience and takes a while to get used to, so that you are connecting with us. The other thing I want to mention is that some of you might already be very savvy with video recordings, and maybe you have your own YouTube or Instagram accounts where you create videos or TikToks. I don't want these videos edited. This is public speaking, and in a live public speech, you don't get the chance to go, stop, I need to do it over again. So I don't want to see any cuts or splices in your videos. One take, post it, and then we'll review it. That being said, you have the chance, if you record a video and you just hate it, you can start over again. But I don't want to see any edits in your videos, please. So you're aiming for 3 to 5 minutes. It's not a lot of time, especially if you're super passionate about a topic. I had a student many years ago who was super passionate about chainmail, how to create it, and did a speech that was 12 minutes long. So don't do that. Think about how you can cut it down and deliver it in that time period, because even though time limits seem prohibitive and not very nice sometimes, Most of what we do in our daily lives have time limits on it. I get 2 hours to teach a face-to-face class. I get half an hour to host a meeting. You have to be respectful of other people's time, so stick to your time limits. You will be preparing a full sentence outline, or sometimes called a formal outline, which contains everything you anticipate saying in your speech, as well as your sources that you're citing in your speech. This will be what you hand in to me. This is how I check your sources. This is how I know that you know how to put a speech together. You know what an intro should contain. You know where transitions should go. You know how to provide evidence for each of your body points. Again, this is not what you use to read and present your speech. For that, you create either note cards or a keyword outline that just has words and phrases on it so that you can deliver extemporaneously, which means that you're using minimal note cards to deliver in a most conversational fashion that ensures better eye contact and more connection with your audience. You are allowed to use either APA or MLA format when formatting your bibliography or works cited at the end of your outline. I will accept both. If you're unfamiliar with either of those phrases, there are lots of great resources, including the OWL Purdue, OWL at PURDUE websites that help you with that, as well as we have a wonderful Learning Commons on campus and Zoom tutors and peer tutors that can help you with those things. If you've taken a writing course prior to speech, that will be most helpful. If you haven't and you're confused by everything I've just said, please reach out to me. So you are picking a topic. Hopefully it's a topic that you have a lot of interest in and that you can speak passionately about. You are teaching us something about that topic, remembering we are adults, college age, and we are hoping to learn things that will help us in our lives in some way. And I encourage you to practice your speech verbally out loud as many times as you can stand to do it. That often means 5 to 10, if not more. Record yourself doing it, do it in front of a mirror, do it in front of friends, do it in front of pets. The more you say it out loud, the more you'll become versed in the cadence of the speech, and you'll know when the next point comes and what the transition should sound like. And you'll also know if something just doesn't sound right or make sense to you, and you can do those edits before you record your final one. Another note on uploading, some of you may have encountered this as you did your introductory videos. Large file sizes can take a long time to upload. When I record videos via Zoom, I then upload them to YouTube. Usually the entire process takes me 20 to 30 minutes. So that's recording it, letting it process, uploading it to YouTube, and then uploading it to Blackboard. 20 to 30 minutes is what I usually give myself. The longer your video, the more bells and whistles you have, the larger the file size, the longer it will take to upload. So just keep those things in mind since most of your due dates are at midnight and you want to ensure that you get them in on time. I also wanted to point you to some resources that if you haven't delved into them might be helpful. So on Blackboard, in the speech assignments folder, you have the rubric and the assignment details for each speech 1 through 3. I've also uploaded previous student sample speeches for you to review. So here's an example from a student from a couple summers ago who gave her informative speech on pop culture of the 1980s. She was a woman in my age bracket who also grew up in the 80s and still appreciated that particular period in time. And so she did her speech on 80s pop culture. She felt passionate about it. She enjoyed it. She felt she could easily speak about it. And you'll see this is her speech as she presented it, again, without reading this. And then those are her sources that she used. So there are examples there for you to reference. If you're like, I don't know what she's looking for, I'd like to have an example. There are there in the assignments folder in the speech assignments area. And I've tried to provide you a couple examples for each of the speeches that you'll present. So hopefully that helps you as you start to think about speech number 1. Very open-ended topic choice. Just make sure you're informing us, not persuading us, and that you're using outside sources to do so. You're keeping it within a 3 to 5 minute time frame, and that you're practicing enough that you're making good eye contact and you're not reading your speech to us. If you have questions or want me to look at a few topic options, please let me know. I'm available via email, and I'm happy to meet other ways, including Zoom, Teams, phone, etc. Hope you're having a great week, and we'll talk soon. Take care.